It's Tuesday night at 8:14 p.m. You're sitting in the drive-thru of a mid-tier steakhouse, waiting for a $42 takeout bag you didn't really want, looking at the dashboard illumination of your German sedan. The leather still smells new, but as you watch the digital clock flip to 8:15, a cold, specific math problem begins to run through your head. You realize that after taxes, insurance, and the premium fuel sitting in the tank, you had to trade exactly 4 hours of your life today just to sit in this car, eating this food, feeling this tired. This is the high earner treadmill. And if you are making six figures but still find yourself checking your bank app before making a major purchase, you aren't suffering from a lack of income. You are suffering from a lack of systems. Most financial channels will tell you to skip the steakhouse. They will tell you to make coffee at home, download a budgeting app, and categorize your receipts into color-coded spreadsheets. They treat your wealth like a math problem to be solved with discipline. But human beings are not designed for perpetual discipline. Discipline is a finite battery, and by the time you finish a 10-hour workday, that battery is completely dead. If your freedom relies on you making the right choice every single day, you have already lost. The only way to win a game rigged against your time is to remove choice entirely. You do not need better willpower. You need exactly 3 automated financial systems that turn wealth from a conscious decision into a background process. Let's look at the hidden mechanism that keeps the modern professional trapped. Every time your income increases, your lifestyle silently expands to absorb it. This isn't because you're greedy. It's because of a psychological phenomenon known as hedonic adaptation. When you earn more, your baseline for what is normal shifts. A nicer apartment, a premium gym membership, flights that don't have a layover. You believe you are buying comfort, but what you are actually doing is raising the minimum cost to maintain your existence. This creates an uncomfortable reality. The more money you make, the more terrified you become of losing your job. The stakes are higher now. The fall from a 6-figure lifestyle hurts much worse than the fall from a college apartment. You become compliant. You nod at meetings you don't care about. You agree to deadlines that ruin your weekends. You trade your sovereignty for the illusion of security. Here is the first system you need to build to break this loop: the subtraction engine. Most people use the traditional wealth formula: income minus expenses equals savings. Whatever is left at the end of the month goes into the investment account. The problem is, nothing is ever left. The subtraction engine flips the formula completely. Income minus freedom equals expenses. On the day your paycheck hits, before you pay your rent, before you buy groceries, and long before you look at your credit card bill, a fixed percentage, ideally 30%, must be automatically pulled out of your primary account. It cannot sit there for even an hour. It must be routed into a separate, unlinked brokerage account that does not have a debit card attached to it. You give yourself permission right now to stop budgeting. Stop tracking how much you spend on dinners, clothes, or travel. Once that 30% is gone, you are allowed to spend every single remaining dollar down to zero without a shred of guilt. If you want to buy the $42 steak, buy it. If you want to take a weekend trip, take it. By automating the subtraction, you remove the psychological burden of constant restriction. You force your lifestyle to adapt to the remaining 70% while your wealth grows in the dark. But saving the money is only half the battle. The second system is the autopilot acquisition. The biggest lie the financial media tells you is that you need to be an active investor. They want you to watch the macroeconomic news, read earnings reports, and try to time the bottom of the market. This is a trap designed to keep you engaged in a game you are mathematically guaranteed to lose. Wall Street spends billions of dollars on algorithms that execute trades in microseconds. You, sitting at your desk between Zoom calls, cannot compete with them. The autopilot acquisition is a system where your subtracted funds are immediately and automatically deployed into broad market index funds every single week. Not every month, every week. If the market is up, you buy. If the market crashes, you buy. You must detach your emotions from the volatility of the world. Think about the math of a standard 15-year horizon. If you try to time the market and miss just the 10 best trading days of a decade, your total returns are cut in half. By automating your purchases to occur every single Monday morning, you achieve something called dollar-cost averaging. You stop praying for a bull market and start welcoming market drops because your automated system is buying assets on sale. You are no longer a spectator trying to predict the weather. You are a machine that collects assets regardless of the storm. This leads us to the third and most critical system, the perimeter fence. As your automated investments grow, you will hit a dangerous psychological milestone. You will look at your brokerage account and see $50,000, then $100,000, then $250,000. For the first time in your life, you will feel rich, and that feeling is lethal. The moment you see a substantial balance, your brain will try to weaponize that money against your future. You will start thinking about using it for a down payment on a larger house, or a luxury vacation, or a business venture your friend pitched you at a barbecue. You will view that money as capital available for spending. The perimeter fence is a psychological and legal barrier you build around your wealth. This system dictates that money transferred into the Freedom Fund is a one-way valve. It can enter, but it can never return to your checking account to fund your lifestyle. The only time this money is ever touched is when it generates enough passive yield to completely cover your baseline living expenses. You must treat this fund not as money, but as an employee whose only job is to buy your freedom back from the market. If you pull money out to buy a house or a car, you are firing your best worker. The perimeter fence means accepting a temporary plateau in your material lifestyle so that you can achieve a permanent upgrade in your structural freedom. We are living through a quiet, brutal transformation of the global economy. The traditional milestones of the middle class, the suburban home with a 30-year mortgage, the stable corporate career, the retirement fund you touch at 65, are no longer signs of success. They are the coordinates of a trap. The modern middle class has become an economic class that earns high incomes but owns zero assets. They own liabilities disguised as assets, and they pay for them with the only finite resource they have, their time. They are highly compensated, highly stressed, and completely dependent on the next 2 weeks of work. Building these three systems is not about becoming rich so you can buy more things. It is about recognizing that in the current landscape, autonomy is the only true currency. If you do not automate your freedom, society will happily automate your compliance. The dashboard lights will keep blinking, the hours will keep slipping away, and you will spend the best years of your life paying for a lifestyle you don't have the time to enjoy. Turn the key, set the systems, and take your life back.